Hi everybody, good afternoon. Welcome back to our third and final show of the day from Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Dave Bradford and we're here launching a brand new collection today. We've already had two great shows, which if you've missed, you can watch back a little bit later on Facebook or YouTube if you want to. We're really excited about this collection because it's been really received so massively well. 40% of the entire collection has gone. Now, that's of a huge stock. And bearing in mind, there's only been two shows. Okay, there was a sneak preview on Facebook last night, and there's supposed to be two more shows tomorrow. The stock is going very quickly. And when you see it, and when you see what you can do with it in just a second, you'll understand why. Carnation is an incredible brand, an incredible company that bring you, I think, groundbreaking dies and groundbreaking artwork that just takes your card making and your crafting to a brand new level. And Dreamland Safari, which is what we're talking about today, has got not only the capability of making cards, but it's got the capability of turning them into books and journals and albums. You've also got the wildlife side of things, so if kids or members of your family love wildlife programs, wildlife parks, or maybe there's perhaps a newborn in the family as well, there's a nod to that in this collection too. But what I think is so unique with Carnation Crafts is the ability to make very simple, very plain cards that don't take long to do at all. Lavinia's done this one and it's really classy, just really classy and classic, delivering a new baby boy or baby girl. You've got different colour options, pinks, blues, yellows and greens for the actual blanket. So whether it's a boy, girl, or you're not quite sure, you're covered there. So something very simple and stylish. This one here, a little nod to humour with the parachute delivering the baby, but in this instance taking the elephant for a little bit of a walk or a little bit of a jolly. This is another quite simple one from Vera Bow, using some of the foliage in the collection as well. And what I love as well are these lovely extended lines. You've got the trunk of the elephant pointing to something. You've got the neck of the giraffe pointing to something. So it kind of shows you where to look and shows you, you know, what to actually do and where to put what, etc. And here you've got this really cute monkey holding onto the neck of the giraffe as well. But then, when you want to go that extra mile and ramp it up a little bit, you can do things that are obviously going to take you a little bit of time to do. But boy, you've got the dies in this collection to do not just beautiful cards, but also you can make storybooks, photo albums, journals. All of these have been made using the dies in the collection today, which of course is the Dreamland Safari. So, have we inspired you so far? I know many of you have ordered it. If you do want to order it today, this is the last live show of the day. Take a little look at this. This will show you some finished cards. Carla's here to do a demonstration with some of the dies that are in the show as well. But go for yours now, and I'll go through the details in a second or so. But you could be making stunning cards just like this. They're just beautiful. Now this is the collection you've got to thank for all those amazing things. The one thing I must say to you, the tree that you saw in that little clip, that's a separate item which we'll give you details of in a second or so. But this is the heart of the collection, the Dreamland card shape. So that is what's going to make those books for you. It's going to make lovely apertures. There are easy ways to do apertures thanks to this die set that Carla will talk more about, I'm sure. You've got the binder for the side of the book as well. You've got the foliage, you've got the fantastic characters, you've got all the extras that you associate with newborns. I wondered whether that was like a string of lights, and it could be if you wanted it to be, but actually it's a washing line. So you can put the baby grows on the washing line. Just a bit of fun really. And you've got the clouds and the sun and the moon there as well. And over here, one of my favourites is that one there, delivering the newborn, parachute, special delivery. Carla, they are just so gorgeous and cute.
Absolutely stunning, and a way to make all of your baby cards just look really special. But I'm going to go away from baby cards and talk to you about the Dreamland card shape, because that in itself is one of, honestly, genuinely, one of the most versatile card shapes I've ever seen. And I say this a lot with Carnation, but they just keep getting better and better, don't they? But this is exceptional because Not just because it's beautiful, but because I can make, and we were talking about this earlier, without even giving it any thought, without trying to work out different modes, I can make 6 different types of card with this. I can make an oval from the center. I can make my apertures, because it's an easy aperture card, and I'll explain that in more detail soon. And we did do full demos on these in the earlier shows, so please do always refer back. But I can make an easy aperture card. I can make a standard card. I can use all the various elements for different things as well. Because I've got this, I can make a book. I can also make a layered card. So you can see how progressively this is going to be such an important thing. Because without even exploring it further, and I could make easels with it, we saw elements with it where people have folded it in half and used the sort of pill shape going up to create a different one. So now we're at 7 and 8 different cards just from this one thing, and we haven't really explored it any further than that. So think where we could go. So if I was to give you a die and go, there's an 8 for 1, that's what we're giving you.
Well, I'll tell you what,
8 for 1.
We'll go through the boards in just a sec. I'll tell you how you can order if you want to get hold of it. Now, the main thing to remember is there's a special discount code on this, which is CCDS10, okay? So if you fancy ordering it, put that into the promo code box at checkout when you get to our checkout at carnationcrafts.co.uk. That will take it down to that price that's on the screen now, £80.99. If you don't use it, it'll be £89.99. So that code is our gift to you to say thank you for watching us on our own channel and also on Facebook and YouTube as well. That will get you this die collection, okay? If you want to spread the cost of it, there is the option of Clear Pay and there is the option of PayPal Pay in 3, or you can just put it on your debit or credit card today. Should be £116.95. It's only £80.99, and as you're spending over £50 and you're in the UK, it's free UK P&P. If you're in the USA, you can order as well. I believe the shipping and handling for the USA for this will be $5.95.
I think $4.95,
$4.95,
but if you want to put some perfect papers in, it'll be $15.95.
Right.
That's my memory, my understanding.
$14.95, yeah.
We'll get there in the end. Good job we've got a young person in the corner telling us the things.
And that's not me.
No, Dave, that's not you, Dave. No.
Okay, £80.99, free UK P&P. If you want the perfect papers, they're available, of course, as well. But let's carry on with the boards and see what you get.
Miss Taz is just shaking her head in the corner like,
It's the third show.
I can't with the old people. And Dave and I are just like, we're young at heart. That's all that matters. Right, let's have a look at this card shape. We talked about having like your at least 7, what do we do? 7 or 8 in ones on here. This is absolutely insanely awesome. What's this panel for? You've just joined us. What is this panel for? Well, it is here.
Old person can't get the messages.
After
Taz,
all saying that, now Dave has just handed Miss Taz his iPad and said, please help me. So you've got this here. You can see how it's a direct thing. So we've downloaded the vignette for this. This is what it looks like. And you've got these folds. So where the big patches are, we're just going to fold those in. So we're doing a valley fold on those. And then on the outside, we're going to do a mountain fold on each of those, which means I get a box shape. You can just see that there. That little box shape if I move my hand. And that means if I do that on all of these, I won't do the whole thing, but I will just show it. Put 2 of those together. I start to create a Coptic stitch binding effect. Now that means when it's all done and it's all glued, you would glue inside here, and that's going to keep that held together. On the inside then, I've got my pieces for my panels, my papers. Look at that.
Come on, let's be honest. What other company do you know of, apart from Carnation Crafts, that gives you the artwork for the spine?
I know. And then it gets this beautiful circular shape if you want it, which is more sort of real book-wise, isn't it? You've also got your panels sitting there. So you put your papers onto those. However, if you want to take more of them, you can make bigger ones. So you could add that into there, make thicker books. But also, if you look at it in that way, if I take those 2 pieces where I've pinched that together to make it bigger, and I turn that round, so I've got that shape, I can now create something that's got a multitude of circular layers. So I get the ultimate 3D shape, because I can put a piece, you know, a piece of cardstock or whatever on all of that, and you can get this rotating book almost like a Rolodex. And if you were to put magnets on here and matching magnets on there, they would clip together. And you could have all of your pages, you could then clip them and fold it flat for postage. Lots of different ways of playing. This is the most incredible card shape, the most versatile card shape I've ever seen them do.
You're going to have so much fun with it, you really, really are.
So let's expose it for colour and see what happens when we expose that colour, because this moment that's about to take place takes my breath away. That's what you're getting
OMG.
That's your artwork. That's incredible, right? As a reveal, that is an incredible amount of artwork. So you've got your apertures here, so we showed you that panel, which is here. And when you look at this, you'll use 3 of these. So you'll cut out the center point for your largest apertures, if you like, then your midpoint for your mid ones, and then you'll cut everything away for your top piece. And that gives you easy apertures, which means anyone can now make layered apertures, and you use a piece of foam tape in between, give it some distance and some shadow play. You've got something so quick, so easy, unbelievable.
And just to let you know, the artwork that you can print off free of charge will be on the website carnationcrafts.co.uk tomorrow. Okay, so place your order for the dies today. Many of you are saying on Facebook and YouTube at the moment that you've had an email to say that your order has been dispatched already. Oof. How good is that? But tomorrow, if you go to carnationcrafts.co.uk, you can see the vignettes and you can print those off free of charge, and your dies should be with you shortly after.
So from there, we've got all of your pieces here. So you can see these become little doors that just open, so you can make little pictures inside, but gorgeous for journal pages, gorgeous for cards themselves. Imagine, it reminds me a little bit of the Water's Edge, so imagine if you had that design inside here as well, just absolutely stunning. Then you've got the more rustic feel over here, really beautifully designed, so again, you'd have little pieces in there. Works portrait or landscape. You have a belt to close your book if you're making a book out of this. Make cards out of it, make layered cards out of it, use the insert as tags and little pieces as tuck-ins for journals. There are a million ways to play just with that one board. It's one of the most versatile, important card shapes I think I've probably ever seen, and I don't mean that lightly. I genuinely think as a card shape, it's probably literally the most important one I've ever seen.
I've never seen a collection of dies like that to make such stunning cards. So if you fancy that, that's in the main collection today, 231001. That's only a small part of it though, because you've also got your exotic flowers and the characters to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful florals, aren't they? They are just those safari, gorgeous, beautiful, vibrant pinks and yellows. Your magnolias, which I think is the only one that I know the name of, and I've probably got that wrong. This one I know the name of, and I want to say it's a parrot something, but I think I'm making it up. And I think that's a banana leaf. So let's not pretend I know the name of anything anymore and just say there's some pink flowers, there's a lovely orangey yellow flower, and I think they are magnolias.
Isn't it a cheese plant?
Eh?
Cheese plant? The one at the
Is that a cheese plant?
Is that a cheese plant?
It could be.
Like a monstera.
Oh, I don't know.
Viewers.
Message, let us know. Say on Facebook or on YouTube. I do both now, by the way. YouTube and Facebook. Multi-skilled. Just here.
It's something out of a Peter Kay sketch. So this here, where you've got this, what's this? Is that a banana leaf?
No, I thought that was a cheese plant.
Cheese plant, which none of us know. So you've got these stunning, stunning florals. Now, one of the biggest aspects with Carnation, and one of the most important aspects, is that they will always give us tuck-ins. And tuck-ins are visually very, very important for the cards that we make. What we mean by that is you'll have pieces that have got little stalks on, like this, little stems, and you just tuck them into little places and you build a corner or you build an element with them yourself. It's the building blocks to make your corners, to make your borders, to make your hanging sort of festoons, if you like, all of those things. And that's what we use. And Carnation never let us down on tuck-ins. They always give us really important pieces. And I love working with tuck-ins for a visual stimulus. It's really important.
And the next. Oh, here we go. Special delivery. This is what I talked about at the beginning of the show. You've got a blue or a pink for a boy or a girl, the blanket. It doesn't have to be a baby, it could be a little animal. And then if you're not sure what you're having or what the card's for, how, you know, boy or girl, you've got a green or a yellow.
Hopefully a baby.
A baby, yes.
Not necessarily, Taz. So we've got this here. This
could be a baby elephant.
Well, this is how you arrive to work in a morning, Dave.
Every day.
So like, it's just, you know, it could be a Dave there. It could have Davey B. All wrapped up, but you've got obviously that beautiful hot air balloon. Again, take note of the cut lines that we've got down here, that the Nick and the creative all of the words have gone. We ate too much at lunch.
It's a Swiss cheese plant. I was right. Thank you, Linda.
A Swiss cheese plant?
Swiss cheese plant.
Specifically Swiss
the big
cheese,
palm
like
one.
Edam?
No, like what we've just had for lunch. No, no, it's a Swiss cheese plant. Thank you, Linda. Thought so. Hey.
Thank you, Linda. Nick, who is the creative director, puts in all of these lines for us. And the really, really important Not least because visually it gives us impact, doesn't it? We can see the 3D style of that, but it means we can shape it and manipulate it. And again, we've got it on the blanket here, so we can just sort of shape that out. Now, if I don't have time just to explain to you, if you're shaping out the bottom piece, just use your ball tool on the baby, which is not a question sentence I ever thought I'd say, but just use it across on the baby. That will allow this to dome out as if there is weight at the bottom of that carrier. And that is just absolutely delightful as a piece, isn't it? Really beautiful.
And my favourite bit of the whole collection, well, actually, they're all my favourites, but the animals are just so cute.
Safari friends are just delicious, aren't they? You've got the naughty little monkey with his lovely feet. Look, I love how his little back foot curls up. Little details like that matter, right? You've got his tail, and two of those can intertwine to create like a hanging festoon. You've got your stalk, which offers length across your card. Really important, especially when you put him just off the edge of a card and over into the center of that aperture. Very, very powerful piece. Your giraffe is going to add height and detail to any borders that you want to make. Really, really is important as well, but also he directs, as does the elephant, which offers you width, and the elephant is going to point you in a certain direction as well.
Normally, if you wanted to have an elephant that's pointing left and an elephant that's pointing right, or a giraffe left and right, you'd have to buy 2 dies. Nope. With us, 1 die, mirrored vignettes, game changer. It means you've got basically a left and a right, or a front and a back. And just look at this one, with the 2 monkeys, tail in tail. Oh, that's so
cute,
sweet,
wouldn't it?
Handing them the dummy look. There you go.
If you think of the baby in the, you know, the balloon, if you cut the balloon off, so you've just got the baby hanging with the blanket, and put 2 elephants together, so you've got them nose to nose, because we've got the mirrored vignettes, you can turn one round, and have the elephants carrying the baby as well. There's super cute ways of doing this. Super, super lovely ways of bringing all those in. And then finally, we've got your lullabies, which are just so delicious and lovely. And you've got 2 colorways for these: a predominant blue, which you see here with the clouds, the sun, the romper suit, the shoes, the socks, the star, and the dummy. But also then you've got this bright colored scene as well. If you want to add that in to like the main safari pieces, for instance, the tropical flowers, then they will work in that way. But if you want to make something that's very sort of traditionally baby, then the blue is a really gorgeous color for it. It just tones everything down. Very, very important again for all your baby cards. This is all of the tools you'll ever need for baby cards sitting on that board.
So that is your Dreamland Safari Collection, 231001, $80.99. It only launched today. This is not available anywhere else for the time being, exclusive to us on Carnation Crafts TV, on YouTube and Facebook and so on. So if you want it, you'll be one of the first people in the world to own it. And we're getting so many messages from lots of you saying that it's already been dispatched. You've had email confirmation. That's how quick the guys in the warehouse and at Carnation are. When they've processed your order, it gets picked, it gets packed, it gets posted. You should get it, some of you, maybe even tomorrow. Okay, now also in conjunction with this collection, what works really, really well is this. This really got me excited earlier on today, because a tree is so symbolic. People plant trees to mark special moments, special, you know, events in a year or whatever. And it means so much to everyone, whether it's a family tree, a tree of life, a money tree, it could be any of those things. But this tree today, I just think is exceptional, because you can actually cut it out twice and slot it together, so it makes a 3-dimensional 360-degree tree. So it's a self-standing ornament at the end of the day. But what you get with the tree is also these silhouettes. Now, okay, you can use them as silhouettes representing different members of the family, but also you could put your own little pictures in there. So it could be mum and dad, a new baby in the family, it could be aunties, uncles, grandparents, ancestors, anything at all. Yeah, pets, absolutely, it could be pets. So this I just think is great. And again, just like the artwork for the main collection, this artwork for the tree, which I think you'll agree is stunning, will be available to print off tomorrow from the vignettes on carnationcrafts.co.uk on the website, okay? So the tree itself comes with other dies too, doesn't it?
It does indeed. So I'm going to show you that now. But can I just say very quickly, this is probably of very little interest to any of you, but those of you come from a commercial point of view, so you sell the cards that you make and the things that you make. The first time I ever got into crafting, I was a paper cutter. That's what I did for a living, just cutting patterns. And my baseline, my bread and butter was earned from creating paper cut family trees with names in, so you would just cut the name into branches.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I was a paper cutter before I was a
I know you're a paper cutter, but I didn't realise you made
no,
family trees.
was my bread and butter. That's what I made all of my money from at the time. I was living off that. So basically, if you're doing this at a craft fair, these will sell. These just people love family trees. It's a really, really big thing in our sort of in our culture, I suppose. We like that stability of a family, don't we? We like the idea of building family trees. The genealogy has become a huge thing, so this is a really important piece. It's also important because it's playful and it's fun when you want it to be. It can be so many things. And the other thing I'll just say is some of those smaller animals that Carnation have brought us in the past as well. Think of your little mice from Wild Wonders, those kind of things where you've got your little tiny little creatures, how they will sit just on here. How you could have the Carnation mice on here. There's one where the Carnation mice are climbing up a rope. They could be on here. You know, there's so many different ways. This tree is really important for all of your Carnation
Cut them out quite a few times. You could have almost like a wood and then have a scene with the little characters, you know, almost like a little theatre scene. You could have lots of trees and then you could have the little characters in the trees, you know, make a little scene.
How you're spending your Friday nights, Dave?
Yes.
Baking little puppet
Telling
shows
stories.
for Rob.
Yeah, little puppet shows. Why not? You could do.
You can absolutely do that. So you've got the tree. Now I'm going to demo the tree because it's the one thing that we haven't demoed particularly, and I'm going to demo that in this show at the end. But I just want to talk to you about the importance of being able to make that 360-degree quadrant fold. And actually, I think if you worked it out hard enough, you'd be able to do more than two together. I think you'd probably be able to slot more, but I won't go into that too much. But all we're going to do is cut that down to where the hole is on the top one. So you're going to get two trees, and I will demo this. Cut it. Second tree, we're going to cut to this point. You're just going to slot them into each other.
Right.
And then they will open up into this quadrant. If you don't want to do that, you've also got your base layer here. You've got your mats and your layers, and you've got your tree. So you can just make cards as we standardly make cards by scoring at ½ an inch, cut the big one twice, etc.
And by the way, that tree will fit in the book.
It does indeed.
If you want to use it in the book.
Carnation stuff will always play well together. You've got two silhouettes that you can just see here. It might be not as clear on your board, but certainly you can see them on the white side, just here and here, where you've got those elements coming through. And then you've got your name label here, your arrows for your family tree, and a little frame and a back of your frame too. So everything coming together for you to create absolutely gorgeous family trees for your family, for your friend, you name it. It's just beautiful. You're going to have a lot of fun. But I don't think that's going to last too long. I think it will absolutely fly. So make sure you've got it if you want it.
Okay. Now, the alphabets, if I show you this card here, for example, that have the two monkeys linked together. You can see the alphabet on here is really, really bold, and it's a lovely font on there as well. That's saying baby. I've got another card here that says baby boy. So we've got, oh, by the way, these are part of the free printable background papers that are on the website as well. All you've got to do is go to carnationcrafts.co.uk and click on downloads, go to free digital downloads, and you'll find all of these and also all the vignettes there from tomorrow, okay? So that, again,
Dave,
is a lovely font, isn't it?
Will you just hold that exactly where you are and not move? Can you all just take a moment to look at the baby bottle on the bottom side of your screen? There you go. Now that is the size of Dave's fingernail. Look at the cut line detail in it.
I know.
All your milliliters of milk for your baby. When we're talking about detail and we're talking about attention to detail, Carnation are the best in the game. It's why I say that constantly that they're elite. That's why. Because when you look at that, he didn't need to do that. That's a tiny little thing. He didn't need to do that.
And those cut lines mean that you'd be able to make the bottle rounded.
You can shape it, even when something that small. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out because it's important, right?
That's right. Now, it's not just letters of the alphabet. We've also got numbers, and you've got your ordinals in there as well, your STs and
your
yeah.
So this is gorgeous, and again, dynamic. Where you've got the 8, and this is the best example I can show you on this board. When you see it on a plain background, it's really easy, but on black, not so much. But you've got all this tonal shading on here, and it makes them look 3D. It makes them look almost like they're balloons, but very fine, thin balloons. It's a beautiful font. It's not, there's a word I want to say. Let's say it's not Comic Sans, and I think lots of you will know what I mean when I say that. It's a really beautiful baby font, and it's all obviously in these 4 colorways, which means you don't, as I said earlier, it's not like you'll just get this in this. You'll get a full alphabet in the yellows, a full alphabet in the blues, a full alphabet in the pinks, and a full alphabet in the greens for the vignettes for that. So you can download all of that from the Carnation Crafts website. More importantly, each one's got its own mat as well. So you've got everything going on. So by my reckoning, 26 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41 82 dies.
Wow.
In
And
that
look at the
one
price,
set.
$34.99. That's 231008. If that's all you want today, or you want to add it into your order along with the main collection, if you're spending over £50, you get free P&P. So do remember that and bear that in mind. I just want to show you, though, going back to the main collection, some other interpretations. Barbara Treadwell, hi Barbara, has done this one. It's her interpretation of like Noah's Ark, really. So really different, really lovely. This one from Vera. She's used actually, technically I suppose, the waist. It's like the cutout apertures. If you wanted to make an aperture, and you know, this is actually now made into an easel card, which I think you'll agree is absolutely beautiful. So that's no characters at all, just literally those beautiful flowers. Here we've got, look at that fantastic
I love that.
neck stretched giraffe with all those wonderful. Oh, by the way, we had a message about the pink flower. Sam Smith is
Was
watching.
it parrot something?
Says hibiscus.
No.
Is the pink flower. My
Was I
favourite,
thinking of the
Sam says.
parrot thing? It's in my head that there's a plant that's called a parrot something.
You might be right.
I wouldn't have thought so, Dave.
And look at this. Wash day.
Look.
How cute is that? So there's so many different ways of using these die sets and so many stories that you can tell. But I think the biggest deal for me is that when something major happens in your life, and our very good friend Alex, who we work with elsewhere,
Bless him.
he had probably the single most important aspect of his life the other day, because he had a baby, and his wife and the baby and him are all doing very, very well. But we were thinking, you know, he sent pictures through while he's been off on paternity leave, and I was thinking, what if I'd print those off, the pictures he sent me, and put them in a book and gave this to him and his wife? I think he'd be over the moon. He'd probably burst into tears.
Yeah, I think. Oh, bless him.
He would.
Because he's so lovely
He
as well.
is,
He
yeah,
would.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Look how gorgeous these are as baby books.
But these dies can be used to do something as elaborate, as beautiful as this. Obviously, this is an investment. You know, this isn't going to be done in 10 minutes. This is going to take you probably days. But what a thing to have at the end of it. And I've got to say well done to Janine again from the design team who's done that and used the alphabet on the front.
Can I just say, I don't think it would take you days.
Do you think?
So where Janine has done the acetate. See this? I'm not. You need scissors, really. Just 1 second. I'm just going to pop it. Hold on. You need to do it with a craft knife. I don't want to destroy it. Do it with a craft knife or a pair of scissors. When that pops out and you've got the empty shell of it, right? Depending on what size you do your apertures. So you've now got this, okay? If I was to take 2 of those, put a piece of acetate between the 2 of them, glue them, red liner tape. That's the front piece of a baby photo album done. So what I would do is red liner, red liner, red liner. That's going to be the spine. Leave that open. 2 pieces of acetate either side. Slot your baby photo in.
Perfect.
That's not a big job.
No, that's true.
Put 4 corners on. That's part of your journal made up.
And just
They're
to
not
prove
difficult.
to you quickly that the tree does fit inside the book if you want it to. Okay, so it will work. Everything works together with Carnation. But the tree is what we're going to major on for the demo, isn't it? So
yeah, we are going to look at the tree. I'm just going to show you a couple of little pieces that have been either made today or made by the DT. So you've got some extra samples to look at, some extra inspiration, and then I will do a little demo. So using some basic symmetry and using some foam pads to create shadow play, because the shadow is really important with apertures. You can see how much distance you can make and how much shadow you can get.
And you made that in the 9 o'clock show.
Yeah, a simple symmetry, really clean card. You're just looking at things being easy on the eye, beautiful to look at, really, really gorgeous.
And this one's bringing the tree into the main collection, so you can use it separately as like a family tree, or you can bring it into the collection like this. And also these lovely verses, by the way, I had lots of questions about those earlier on. You can print those off as well, free of charge. What was the collection you need to find?
So you're looking at this, it's your digital downloads from Carnation Crafts. You need to go to Carnation Crafts website, which is www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. Go to downloads, then go to free downloads and type in bundles of joy. Bundles of joy. It will bring on all of the PDFs for the Bundles of Joy collection, and one of those is your digital stamps, which is your sentiments, digital sentiments. And literally where the die is for, let me just see this one. See where the sentiment is at the bottom? That's one of the dies, and it's got an extra inside die. So if you can see where that sort of gorgeous creamy colour on the outside, but then white on the inside. The white is this. It's this bit, because
Right.
you've got an inside of that sentiment to cut any sentiment to the size you want it to fit into that. They think of everything.
Okay, a couple more cards, then we'll crack on with the demo. Pam Simpson, hi Pam, one of the design teams done this one. Personalised, obviously, with the letters of the alphabet. But I love the fact that the elephant is taking a rather curious liking to those little booties. They'll be off that washing line in no time and on his feet. And then Vera's done this one, again with that elephant holding a lovely little plant this time, or a flower.
Naughty
Really sweet.
Nelly.
So loads of ways of using these. Whether you love DL-shaped cards, whether you love making books and journals, this is the collection for you. And that's why when we came on air today, at 40% of the entire big stock are gone. There's 2 more shows tomorrow, and lots of you I know watch these shows back, in the evening when you get home from work and stuff like that. So
Absolutely. It's when you look at it on the screen there and you're looking at the impact of the actual photos, it's really difficult for me to not look at them honest, because the power of the vignettes is so good, isn't it? When you see them sort of looking at you, like, oh my goodness, they are absolutely gorgeous. So things like this, when you start to see that dimension coming through using the teardrop and sweep nested, very, very pretty. The use of using the sentiment at the bottom there, raised up to give you a stopper for your easel card. Again, really important, really easy. These are not difficult things to make. Some of those tropical flowers round looks absolutely delightful.
okay, demo with the tree on the way. Just to show you this one. Look at the sentiment on that as well. I'm on my way. He's not delivering a baby. He's getting a cheap lift.
Just get in there.
He's taking my form of transport. There we go.
It's like Alita Adams. I don't care how I get here, just get here.
Just get here if you can now. Oh, brilliant. Okay.
I'll just show you this one lastly, and then I'll get into demo for
Okay.
you. But I did just want to show you another use of that spine that we were looking for. You know, we said about the Coptic stitching for those books, and this is a really great example Lavinia's done where she's used it in white, and she has just sort of used it on the side here, as you can see. So it's all, then you've got the layers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's used it instead of a book spine as a layering for cards, and then put acetate down the front of the first one to create a window. And what we get, as I turn that round,
Love it. Absolutely love it.
and you get what is, it's just delightful, isn't it? Where you've got the elephant sitting at the back, the trees. Can you see all of those layers? This is one of the most important card shapes I've ever seen. Really, genuinely. There's so much going on here, and so much I can do with this. And listen, when you're buying this collection today, and you're obviously going to have so much fun with Dreamland Safari, it's going to take you on many adventures. But when you've got it home as well, remember your other collections and how you're going to be able to use that card shape. It's so important, that card shape. So many ways of playing.
Actually, Janine says on Facebook, the vintage Victoriana style is right up my street. I adore this collection. Absolutely, Janine. Linda Wilson says, order on its way. Thank you guys from the warehouse. They don't get enough recognition there. The warehouse guys are great. Everyone back at HQ are great. Morning, Carla and Dave. Fifi says, my order's already been shipped. Thank you, Carnation. Yeah, could I please ask whether the other set has the tropical flower? Which other set has the tropical flowers? That's from Sam Smith. Which other set has the tropical flowers?
Which other set? What, you mean Carnation have released one before with tropical flowers? They very probably have.
Not sure.
Bohemian Beauty had tropical feathers in it. Maybe some tropical flowers. Boho Beauty, definitely.
Testing you now.
Yeah, Boho would go with this really beautifully, especially when you think of the little perfume bottle. Can you remember Boho Beauty had the diffuser bottle? Had the diffuser woods that you could cut the top off and just use the bottle, and that colour was the same. You're testing my memory greatly here.
Well, there'll be loads of other collections on the website if you want to have a little look at past collections that are still available. So that's at carnationcrafts.co.uk. Okay, demo with the tree on the way after we give you more inspiration about what you can do with the Dreamland Safari. go. Amazing finished cards, amazing collection, and don't forget that all-important discount code. Our way of saying thank you for tuning into our channel is CCDS10. That will get you the extra £9 off the price. Otherwise, you're looking at £89.99. With the discount code, you're only paying £80.99. Right, Carla, family trees, one of my favourite things.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do the genealogy thing one day.
We did it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get any surprises?
Emily Carr, who does Carr's Water Biscuits, is our family member.
Ooh.
We traced my dad's. I don't have the I don't have the cleanest family lines, but we did get my father back to Vikings. Emily Carr was probably the biggest thing, I think.
Okay.
There was, yeah. We won't go into it too much.
I'm fascinated by all that sort of thing.
I have quite a rare. I mean, I did know I had quite a rare family background, but yeah, it turned out it was much more than I thought. Let's go to the family tree before I ruin Carnation's reputation. So the family tree folds perfectly in half, and on the side here you've got this little spinal column just going down, and we're going to get rid of half of that on one and half of it on the other tree. So I'm going to cut it twice. This is if you want to make a 360 3D quadrant shape, much less complicated in real life. You can just use your mats and layers and make a standard card shape with the tree, which is also glorious, but I want to show you it in its full glory. So I'm just going to take it from this one, and I'm just going to follow these pip lines where that hole is all the way down, all the way to that way. And I'm going to do the same again on the other side of this. So I'm pulling up this whole line. Now I'm going to be totally honest with you. When I was doing this for demo, I took two of the trees and glued them together, and I did the same on the other. So I had 4 cutouts all together just to make it as strong as I could, but it's up to you what you do. It's fairly strong as it is, but for me it just felt like I had a little bit more stability because I had a thicker GSM on my card stock. Have I just done that on the same one? I have. Do you know, half a brain and I'd be dangerous. I'm going to show you it in full anyway, but on this one, because I've got them all cut, this is what happens when I get diverted, Dave. Go down here.
Yep.
On this one. So you've got the 2 separate pieces, and now that I've cut it too much on t'other, it probably ain't going to work, but it will on my main demo. So I'm just going to take that. You want that little circle piece gone. Don't keep it in there. It's just a guide to show you, and normally it comes out with your die cut. So that's my bottom, that's my top. Now obviously I ended up cutting this all kinds of ways, but what we would do is put this and slot it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to go all the way down. Obviously, I cut mine in all.
Did you say the GSM of what you'd use?
I always cut mine on a, because I like to have my mirrored vignette, so I always do mine on a 120 mirrored.
Right.
And that gives me a 240 GSM. Now, if you'd have cut that properly, so one at the top, one at the bottom, it would stand as your quadrant, which my demo will. But for this, I just wanted to show you how to do it. So you just.
But if you wanted to do that 6 or 8 times, so you've got a fuller.
Yeah,
would that work?
I think just keep slotting them together. I'm pretty sure that would work. Right, let's have a look at what I did for demo, because I wanted to play with this. All the cards I've done have been fairly, I suppose, not somber, but very much inclined towards those baby cards. So let's play. Let's have some fun. So, make sure, while you're ordering this, you also go onto the Carnation Crafts website and order yourself a pack of Carnation's magnets, because we can have so much fun. So order a packet of their magnets. They've got the best crafting magnets in the industry. They're super thin, super thin. It means we can do loads with them. And I wanted to play with them on this card, because I'm sat there thinking, when my Littlies were Littlies, and they're not Littlies anymore, and they hate me calling them Littlies now, but when they were Littlies, there's nothing that they liked more than playing and interacting and doing all of the good stuff. Now, how can I make that more so for them? So I was sat thinking about it, and I thought, well, if I was to use magnets, we could play. So I took the tree, as you can see here. Look, instead of messing up cutting, I could have just used this one that I've got. So slots in and out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too tricky. But when I was making this, because I was using 2 in order to make it 220, 240, 480, so really strong, really sturdy piece. I thought, well, if I'm going to glue 2 together, I might put some magnets inside my tree.
Okay.
And I thought, let's see what happens when I do that. So I'm just going to make sure I've got that.
Could you, if you wanted to, stick it onto a magnetic sheet and die cut the magnetic sheet?
Yeah, of course you could do whatever you want.
That's another option.
the Carnation magnets are super, super well priced.
Well, I tell you what, 30 magnets for just £12.99. They're on the website as well if you want to stock up on those. Great for your journals as well as the tree.
So doing that then, so this is one of my trees, and one half I haven't glued it, and you can see I've stuck 3 magnets there, okay?
Yeah.
They're already glued on, and I've got one down at the base. Now, as long as I've slotted it together right, I believe at this side I've also got magnets. I'm just trying to make sure they are in. But yeah, I can see one shining there. And that's inside this piece. Okay, so I've got magnets just on those 2. You could do it on all 4, but I've got it on just those 2 because I'm just demoing. So what I want to do then is place magnets on my characters and on my florals so it becomes an interactive card for Littlies. So what I did when I was making it, I made some magnets so that they're magnetic front facing and some so that they would repel, if that makes sense, opposite sides. So when you're playing with them, I've changed them round. So if I was trying to put, say, a monkey on one of the magnets, it would repel it, and on another one it would stick it. So that kids could have fun with it and play with it, but we've got mirrored vignettes. They can learn to turn it and it will stick in different ways. And I just thought, what a great way of, you know, keeping dexterity and all the brain stuff that we do with Littlies. Obviously they're going to need to be monitored while we're doing this, but if you're sat playing with your children or your grandchildren, what a great way to make an interactive card. So with that in mind, I've got here my magnolia flower, and I've got 2 the same, and I've got a magnet with some red liner tape on it sitting here. And if I place that, let's see,
They're
somewhere.
super slim magnets as well,
There
aren't
you
they?
go. Can you see it clicking?
Yeah.
So I've got a clicking point there, and I've got a clicking point there. And you see how it flipped because
Yep.
I've got different areas for it, and it depends what I want to put there. So what I'm going to do is just take this, get my red liner tape off it, if I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to place it on. Now, then I'm going to take some wet glue. You can use red liner again. You can use all sorts, I suppose, but red liner was fine for me because I'm actually taking up the paper rather than the magnet, to be fair now. I put red liner on 1 because I want that strength. So I'm just going to put little dots of glue here. Take this.
Oh, you're covering up the magnet, right.
Covering up the magnet. Squeezing that together, and then what I can do is work out, that's repelling, that's sticking, work out where that is, and then I can start shaping it around the magnet. Okay?
That's cool, isn't it?
So now I've got 3-dimensional flowers that are going to stick to my tree.
Love that.
So really, really sweet, okay? So then what I did was did that with a load of my characters. Now I'm not going to sit here and kind of sport with your intelligence and sit and do a load of magnets together, but I wanted to expose that so you could see the magnets and see what you were doing with them. And then I have already put some together over here. So I'm just going to get some more wet glue just at this side.
Got to say hi to Karen Jane Craft. She says, great way to spend lunch, and also your coffee morning was spent with us as well earlier on today. That's good.
Ah, hello.
And Karen Jane has actually gone for the alphabet today. Morning, Carla and Dave. What a way to enjoy the morning. Sam Smith says, thank you, Carla, for your advice. She's going to look later for those other tropical flowers.
Well done. I'm pretty sure it is boho, you know. If anybody else knows of any, I'm pretty sure boho. Whether there's another collection, possibly. Carnation do so many gorgeous collections. And I'll be honest, there's over 200 collections now. And being that I can barely remember my children's name, 200 collections is a lot for my little brain to carry. So I'm going to close that up. Now that I've shown you the magnets on it. And just make sure that they remain separate in those pieces. So I'm just making sure that this part sticks together. Okay.
Hi to Pat Rigg. She says, hi, Carla and Dave. Thank you for bringing another fantastic collection. I've just ordered mine. Sandra Hazley says, hello, Carla and Dave. Nice to see you in Sarasota in Florida. Oh, I love Sarasota.
I've never been.
Went on holiday. That's gorgeous. Linda Poland, good afternoon, Carla, Dave, Miss Taz, and everyone. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. Yes, I'm on YouTube and Facebook now. In case you missed the news.
Oh, the only problem with working with magnets is that magnets really like each other.
Yes, they do.
And they do all of the look, all of the things. So I've got magnets in my monkey's bottoms, which is a sentence again I never thought I'd be saying live on television. And then I've got some in my flowers, and any that I've got that is a mirrored vignette, as in it's how do I say mirrored? As in, it's the same on either side in that way, as in I've doubled up. You can just see there's a little magnet inside there. So monkey He'll either repel or he'll stick, depending where I stick him. So I can play interactively with him, and I can have him looking for flowers and various other things, and I can sit and I can shape out, and I can add flowers in different variants. I'm just looking for ones that have got magnets.
You say it's for the youngsters. I mean, I think adults will. Adults
so
will
much fun.
I know, absolutely so much fun.
So you can just play and, you know, have different variants going through, and it's just the best sort of sweet little thing. Now, what I also did was popped a magnet inside the giraffe somewhere, his nose. There you go. He just seats, and I wanted him just slightly off the ground over here. And then I've got the elephant. I know his feet went down here, and so I should still be able to fold the card because his feet should just sit where they are.
You're in your element with this, aren't you?
I'm having so much fun. This is the best time I've ever had. I'm not going to lie, because I'm easily pleased and always have been. I'm basically a small child. So I'm just going to place all this out, and then I've got another monkey who should have a magnet also in his bottom, and I should be able to put him. He's either going to stay or repel. Monkey is stealing my flowers. Look at this. It's just beyond cute. You just got to find the magnet and make sure you're not repelling. But that's the joy of it,
that's
right?
The fun
because
of it, yeah.
That's the fun of it. You've got these interactive pieces for your littlies all doing. Now I want to cover up his feet, and I don't want to cover up the elephants. I want to put something behind the elephant. So I'm going to remove him, and I'm just going to put a little bit of detailing in. Oh, that's way too much glue. What's glue, Dave? Sticky.
Sticky. Don't use too much. What was it? No, what do you say? Sticky and...
Glue's sticky. You don't need much.
Don't need much.
So I'm just going to make sure that that is stabilised at the bottom. Stabilise it again here. And that should sit just above the elephant and have just a little bit showing. I can add extra, and I can actually raise that by doubling it. So where we say about tuck-ins, I could tuck that in and raise it so that the elephant, when standing, just down here with his magnet, has this leafy sort of outcropping behind him, which is very, very sweet. So there's ways of bringing in extra. The main thing is I can't have my giraffe just dangling, right? Because it looks like the monkey's got him by the nose and is lifting him up. But at the same time, I want to be able to put some detailing down at the bottom. So by keeping him there, what I can do is add in just some extra detailing. I don't know why I've put that there because I can't stick it to him. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is build this up in such a way. Now, this can't come lower than the bottom of the tree because it's obviously got to stand. So it can't be lower than the bottom of the tree. But I'm going to add in another piece, which I'm just going to tuck through, and that's going to sit at the bottom as well. And I'll stabilise one to the other. And by that I mean, if I raise this and I poke this through, push it round and place, that will stabilise the bottom, and then I can stabilise this to this by just placing that there. Okay, and then I can come in with some more florals. Now the first thing I can do is add some more florals to my tree, and so I'm just going to glue these down.
I never ever thought of using magnets on this, but what a great idea.
I just thought it was nice for littlies to play. My littlies used to love stuff. I mean, obviously you're sitting with them anyway. You're monitoring what they're doing naturally. But being able to play with them doing this and watching their little faces as the magnets pop and come through is just beyond sweet. So now I'm just going to cover some of my workings and cover the back, or cover the little bit at the bottom. Now you could obviously do this on all four sides. Super quick, super interactive and super fun. I'm not worried about shaping out too much on these. The idea is that it's interactive more than anything else. And I would hand the things that are magnetized in a bag and just do a little sign that says place me or something along that line, so the person who's receiving the card knows that they're doing something interactive with it.
And just look at the vibrancy of the colours in the tropical flowers as well. That really makes it pop. I mean, it's gorgeous without as well, don't get me wrong, but to add that colour in, it makes it really, really quite exotic.
But then you get to play with monkeys.
You do, the monkey magnets.
You can do all of the things, and all of the things move and change, and some will repel and some will stick, and you get to You get to play and just interact, and that's what I love, because I'm 4 years old, still at heart.
Well, that shows you how the Dreamland Safari collection is going to work so well with the family tree. Obviously, the details for the tree are separate to the actual main collection, so let's give you those quickly. There's the die, and it's a big die, as you can see there. You get the little silhouettes, so you can have members of the family in the silhouettes. You're in your element. Leave her alone, she'll play for hours.
Let's play and look. I'm having so much fun. The things are all sticking.
So if you've got your family tree, it's 231007, $34.99. You can put pictures of your own family on there if you want to, or it could be a money tree or a tree of life, symbol of good fortune and luck. 231007. The main collection though today is this here in front of me. All of this, and remember, from this main card shape, the Dreamland card shape, this Janine book was actually made from this, as was this baby book as well, which is obviously a lot more thick. There's a lot more, many more pages to it. That was made from that central die collection. But then you can have as few or as many pages in it as you wish, but also it creates easy apertures, which is amazing, which is groundbreaking. You've got the buckle and the clasp as well as the spine in there to make those books too. But it's not just about books. You can just make lovely card fronts with this. And all the other elements, remember, the artwork for which will be available on Carnation's website tomorrow. Not today, but tomorrow. So the website's there to place your order today. That's carnationcrafts.co.uk. We've already got loads of messages here from people that are saying they've had a confirmation that their order is in dispatch. It's actually being sent right now. They're very, very quick in the warehouse to get your orders out. And then tomorrow, as if by magic, if you go to the website, you'll see the vignettes. Just go to downloads, digital downloads, free downloads, and then you'll see the vignettes there. Just tap in Dreamland Safari if it's not on the front page, and then it will pop up all the artwork. If you want the perfect papers, remember, which are 300 GSM card, these colours and these patterns work so well with the vignettes, with the artwork. You get 48 sheets, 6 colour variations. So that's the block colour. You've got the patterns as well there, kind of flourishes and swirls in pinks and greens, perfect to use in conjunction with the artwork. Carla, thank you. It's been fab.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taz.
Thank you, Miss Taz.
It's been fantastic. Thank you for watching as well. I'm going to be back actually. I'm going to be here twice a month now, aren't I?
Good Lord, Dave.
Yeah, can't keep me away. 26th I'll be back with another launch for you. Looking forward to that.
It's like a double Dave dose.
Yes.
That's what we'll call it from now on.
And you've got 2 more shows tomorrow.
I have 10 and 12.
10 and 12. Enjoy your collection. Order now. They'll get it to you as quickly as we possibly can. And thanks for watching. Watch the shows back if you missed the 9 and 11. See you soon.